Barrett Cohen on WLSN Radio, the worldwide leader in high school sports. And right now we are emanating live from Oak Hills High School, home of the Highlanders, for tonight's basketball coverage. And let's see, we got Hollis Haggard calling in. And Hollis is calling in with some bowling results. And I have with us, as we test the microphones tonight, my man who will be roaming the sidelines tonight, Tim Fritz. And Tim, I got to give myself props. I hooked this stuff up myself, brother. Believe it.
It's very impressive, Barrett, that you were able to do this.
We don't know it works yet. Before you start talking, let's bring on Hollis Haggard on the line. Hollis, can you hear me?
Yes, Barrett. How's it going, bud?
Hey, good. Hollis, we're here at Oak Hills High School getting ready for tonight's game, but we got you calling in because Joe Coney, bless his heart, he had to bow out of WLSN Radio due to some family commitments. And we have, I guess, until we find somebody else, we're really follow the team, and I want to get the full report from today's game, today's match. You guys headed up North Dayton, or no, you were at Eastern Lanes, weren't you, today?
Yes, it was Eastern Lanes in Middletown, Ohio.
Talk a little bit about the performance today. I know you guys finished 11th out of 20th today, but an impressive performance by one Brandon Mers, huh?
Oh, definitely. It was a packed field full of probably, I think, 8 out of the top 10 teams out of Cincinnati, and I would say 5 or 6 good teams from Dayton, all bunched up in one big tournament. And Brandon had a 656 series to be second overall in the tournament, first team honors, and I think he threw 20 out of 32 strikes today.
Let me ask you this: how difficult it is? Brandon Mers has been a guy. I mean, before I get into my question, how impressed are you with Brandon Mers? I mean, is this a guy that you knew coming in that he was going to really deliver, or was there a lot of question marks with not just Brandon but with this bowling team?
Well, with Brandon last year, he was a JV bowler, and as a junior last year, and in tryouts last year, he threw the ball straight. Halfway through the season, he started to throw 2 fingers, and he threw it 2-handed at one point, and then eventually he got into more of a conventional bowler, and started to really pick up what we were trying to teach him what to do. And over this long summer, he did nothing but bowl with the rest of our team, and got better and better and better. And now he is 1 or 2 every week bowls, and he pretty much signifies what our team is like. They put a ton of lane time in the off season, and it showed in the first half of the year, where we continue to get better and better every single time we go out.
Talk to me. I haven't had a chance to personally talk to you yet. I know Jack and Joe's been doing a lot of the conversing with you. But talk, if you could, about how big of a win that was against Elder. I mean, you guys defeated Elder in a big match, 29-30 to 26-86 before today's score, before today's results. But how impressive was that match against Elder? You guys not just beat them, you dominated them. And the question I have for you is, how much did that play into building confidence for your club?
Oh, I mean, for us to beat Elder at their own home house on the stage where it was a primetime match, I would say it was like the building block for our bowling program, to get better and better, as we continue to go on and for the rest of the year. It was just it's a huge win. I mean, anytime you can go into somebody else's house, beat them, in front of their fans at their own house, and it was, like I said, most of our matches are starting at 4:30, 4:30, and this was a primetime match where all the fans were there for both LaSalle and Elder, and for us to beat them. It was it's a big stepping stone for this program, and it just gives them tons of confidence when we go into the rest of the GCL South.
Well, you guys, how paybacks are. I'm sure Elder's got their calendar circled for January 3rd. You guys are going to play the Purple Panthers over there from Elder, but you're going to be playing at our house, Coleraine Bowl. I'm sure they got that date scheduled. But talk, if you could, about how big it was to have your match on radio. I mean, how many teams? I'd like to consider myself a novice bowler. I go out a couple times a year to go bowling, and I'm nowhere near Joe or you, obviously, except when you and I go mano-a-mano at the end of the season. We'll talk about that in a minute. But tell me, if you could, a little bit about how many bowling teams are on radio. Are there any?
I I've been around the bowling since when bowling started back in 2000, and I've done an interview on a radio one time, and that was for when I coached the girls team, and that's when they set a state record. But besides having a live bowling match, it's unheard of, and I think it's definitely a step forward for WLSN. It's a step forward for LaSalle. It's a step forward for bowling in general, because I think amongst the athletic community, there's still that assumption that bowling is not a sport, and like I've told many people before, we go out and compete every single time, just as much as any athlete does. And for a live match to be broadcasted on the radio, that was huge for my program. That was huge for the kids. That was huge for the parents. That they put all the time in as well, and for them to hear a live bowling program when they go home after they sat through that match, they were nothing but excited about it.
And I don't want that to be the end, because obviously, the resources that we have currently are not very not large. I mean, we just got about 3 or 4 guys doing this. But I got to ask, can you tell me, do we have anybody else that can fit the shoe of one Joe Coney that we can get these games on live?
I'm gonna put the word out to some people I know, maybe a parent of mine, or somebody that has been with me in the past that maybe has some interest in it. But I would love to see these types of matches to be broadcasted live, because like I said, I'm coaching, and when I went home and listened to it on the radio on the podcast next day, I was like, it was even more exciting to listen to it a second time, even though I was there for it live.
And I can tell you right now that I know Joe really wanted to do the GCL matches, and I'm hoping that we could somehow make that work and get somebody on the radio to cover the bowling team live for the GCLs. I personally can't do it. I got 2 little ones at home, and with the commitments I have now, but I want to make sure we get it done somehow. So let's keep in contact. But the most important question I have: are you a little nervous about me calling you out? You and I'll even come to your house at Coleraine Bowl, mano y mano. I think I told you I bowled I want to say a 260. I'd like to tell myself it was like a 2. I know I hit the first 9. I hit the first 9 strikes, and then in the 10th I left pin in the 10th, and I'd even finished off with a spare, so whatever that adds up to. But I got to tell you, that was a long time ago. I think I'd be lucky to break out of 125. But I love competition, and when Hollis Haggard III is sitting right across from me at the Coleraine Bowl, are you prepared to battle me for the WLSN bowling title?
Barrett, I would love for this to go on. Maybe we can even get some live interviews. Maybe get some parents there to maybe do some live on-air stuff, and we can get an interview going. Maybe a little face-to-face, head-to-head picture before we take off and bowl, and we'll see who the best man is when we're all said and done. But I definitely accept the challenge.
How about a hot fudge sundae with nuts? What do you think about that? You got to put something on it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we can do a hot fudge sundae with nuts, or we can do the biggest, largest pop that the Coleraine Bowl has. We can do it that way too.
Oh, I love my Diet Coke. Let me ask you this. We'll call it Diet Coke. Let me ask you this. In bowling at Coleraine Bowl, the one thing I've noticed in a little I have bowled, and I meant to ask you this earlier, there's a big difference between bowling at, say, your home bowling alley at Coleraine Bowl and the challenges. I talked to the St. X coach, James Casey, a guy I work with Hamilton County. He's the assistant St. X bowling coach, and he says Brentwood lanes, believe it or not, aren't good to the opposing team. They're very different lanes, difficult lanes, and I think that plays in more into bowling than it might somewhere else. You got the same hard for your basketball shoes, but you go to a different court. Not only are you dealing with different environments, the way that the oil that's on a bowling alley is much different from alley to alley, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's different pieces that go into every different house you go into. Some houses, they have wood approaches and synthetic lanes. Some houses have synthetic approaches, synthetic lanes. Some houses have wood approaches with wood lanes. Some houses have different pins. There's different oil patterns that each house puts down. Each bowling house, the pattern's not the same. So, when you get to go away from your home house, it makes it that much more difficult. And that's what has been really impressive with my team. We've only bowled two of our matches have been at home. Everything else has been away, and we've been successful at right now, being 8-2. And like I said, we've only had 2 home matches.
Now, are you able to? Is it kind of taboo or looked down upon if you can maybe go out and bull? Say you got a. Let's say Elder, for example. Elder's coming to our house, a Coleraine bull on the 3rd. Is it uncommon or is it frowned upon if maybe Elder comes to a Coleraine bull on their own, maybe a week before and practices a little bit, just to get used to the lane?
It happens all the time, especially in big matches. You'll see the opposing team there a lot. I wouldn't be surprised if Elder does not practice, or Elder does not come to Coleraine and practice between now and then. It wouldn't surprise me if St. X comes to Coleraine and practice.
You can't put the gates up, or you can't ID on the way in, or something like that.
No, what I can do is I've got a little bit of pull at Coleraine ball. I can maybe have them oil the lanes a little differently, what they would be, and put them all in a frenzy when it comes to match time. Okay,
with that in mind, you and I are going to change the venue. You're coming to my house and at Loveland Lanes out my way because you just fed the enemy the line right there. So that's how you do it, huh? When I come knocking, you're going to change the oil on the lanes, huh?
Well, Barrett, you do what you got to do. I mean, you got to take any advantage you can get.
Absolutely. I don't blame you. You got to win, no matter how you do it. Scratch and fight. Coach Haggard, I really appreciate you giving us a chat tonight and filling us in on the bowling team. If you could send me if you haven't already, the team results, because the app that we currently have, I think I discussed this with you on the Lancer line, the Abbeys the other day, which, by the way, I know you probably have commitments, but after the game tonight, a cast of thousands of WLSN are going to make our way over to Abbeys for a few celebratory Diet Cokes, perhaps, if you want to head on over there and join us, maybe.
Yeah, I might have to do that. I got to bowl myself tonight at Northwest Lanes, and we'll see what happens when I get done from there, see how it works out tonight.
All right, Coach Haggard, you got the next one, Elder. I'm sure we'll talk to you before then, but congratulations on a pretty good performance today, and we look forward to talking to you in the future.
Bear, I appreciate all your time.